I'm here at the Sanford Dam, as you can see behind me, and I just want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel, sharing these videos, and liking them. It really helps a lot, get it out there in front of more people, because the mainstream media is not covering this. Of course, a few of our local news agencies are, but out there around the world and around the country, the story here is not being shared. I also want to give a big thanks to my new Patreon members, David, Rob, and Lou. And for the people that are matching my $100 giveaway when I hit 30,000 subscribers, there's actually 4 people matching that now. So that will be a total of $500 that will be donated when I hit 30,000 subscribers. I also want to thank David for his letter. If you want to send me anything through the mail, I'll pop my P.O. box up on the screen, and that's where you can send it. Now let's turn the camera around and take a little bit closer look at how Sanford Dam is. You can see all this debris is still sitting in front of it. This dam, a lot of people have been asking, like, why has this not been cleaned up? This is a safety hazard, it's a health hazard. A little bit of this water is actually getting a little bit stagnant on this side since it's not flowing through this direction. This dam was privately owned by Lee Mueller, Boyce Hydro. So due to those dams being privately owned here, it is up to him to clean up all this debris in here in front. So that answers that question. Here's an aerial view. You can see how much debris is still sitting in front of Sanford Dam. Right there in the middle of the picture, you can see what is left of the emergency spillway, the concrete structure sitting there. And then just up from those, we can see what we're calling Sanford Falls. These are in the location that the old earthen portion of the dam used to be. In this woods right here, used to be a fully fledged forest, but now it's been wiped out from the floodwaters. We can see over here, that's where the flow is actually going in that direction and ending up on the other side of the dam. And it just keeps getting more and more green out here on the lake bed. We can see there's a whole flock of geese sitting right here. And I'll actually switch over to my other camera now so we can take a look at this lake bed in a little bit closer detail. Here are a couple aerial shots of the lake bed, and we can see a lot of these aspen trees that are just starting to grow. Alright, so I switched over to the Nikon P1000 so we can look at the debris here in a little bit closer detail without using the drone. I will also put some drone shots in here though. This boat right here, we've actually ID'd the owner of this. Not actually really able to get in here and retrieve it though. To do that, you probably need to go over here on Boyce Hydro's property and put a crane out there to be able to get that. Justin Hartman would probably be able to do that, but now it's just a question of, is it really worth it since this boat has been underwater for so long? And see, there's another pontoon right behind that, and then we have another pontoon over in this direction as well. There used to be a Sea-Doo Spark sitting right behind that pontoon as well. That disappeared probably a month ago now. No one really knows what happened to it. Maybe it went under the water, maybe it got flushed downstream. No one really knows. A couple propane tanks sitting floating in here as well. And over this direction is where the river path is flowing right now. The boat launch is over there in that direction. I'm going to hop on US 10, try to get to that side and film what it looks like from the boat launch in the public park over there. Lake bed, of course, is looking really green. We have US 10 over there. And here's that whole flock of geese. They are enjoying this water right now. They have a lot of land to walk on and a lot of nice shallow water. See over here in this direction, all the tree stumps sticking up. They are urging people not to cut these tree stumps down. When these lakes are refilled, this will be fish habitat for these fish to be able to live in. And of course we can see all the weeds out over there. A lot of these are looking like they're cottonwood trees, aspen they're calling them, and they're actually looking at if they can use the funds that the associations have collected for weed control when these used to be lakes, and seeing if they are able to treat some of these trees. Of course, in a couple more years, when these lakes are refilled, these trees are going to be pretty tall. So trying to treat the situation before it even becomes a situation. I do want to read a little bit of this article too, because it provides a good update on what Boyce has been doing. So this says, Eagle informed the public last week that Boyce Hydro has refused to come to an agreement with the investigative team on a contract to perform this work. Boyce has also ignored key deadlines to perform critical post-failure evaluations and work related to the portion of the Edenville Dam along the Tobacco River. Boyce Hydro is responsible for hiring a team of independent investigators to complete the forensic investigation of the Edenville and Sanford Dam failures. It is disappointing to learn that Boyce Hydro remains a barrier to the investigation. This chronic non-compliance, if not addressed, could push back the community's ability to recover and restore the lakes. We hope that the State and Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, act quickly to address these deficiencies. So that kind of shows what Boyce has been doing at all these dams. And this in particular was related to the Tobacco River Dam up north from here in Edenville, that they were actually supposed to do an inspection on that, and they continue to delay and not perform these tests that are asked of them. All right, now I'm gonna head up to the other side of the dam and up here on top, and let's take a look and see if we have any erosion still occurring up here. Up here on the top of the dam, still a decent amount of erosion occurring down here. A lot of the sand here is still flowing down in that direction. Not seeing too much more erosion over here in this area though. Let's keep walking down this direction. There's actually a helicopter up there. Apparently they're doing helicopter tours of the empty lake bed now. Guess that's one way to still make money for the community. So this is that hole that a lot of the erosion is going down into. And someone did point out something that I do find very interesting, and is probably what's going on here. When these lakes were full, there was actually a lot of water in these embankments here on the dam, the earthen portions on each side of the dam. Now that this water is gone over here, that used to be Sanford Lake, the water table is now lowering in this area, and the water that used to be maybe inside of these embankments and holding up this land is now disappearing. So that is why we're actually seeing maybe even a sinkhole that actually formed here, and the rest of the erosion falling down into there as well. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's happening, but it does sound like a good theory to me. This still looks about the same amount of erosion happening and flowing down into this direction. You can see we still have the concrete here. The sand has disappeared that used to be underneath here, holding up this wall now. That's falling away. And here on the corner, this looks the same as well. Let's take a look up here by the post. It's usually a good viewpoint to see what is flowing down there. That sandbank there, still kind of flowing down here to the transformers and this power distribution area. The shed still sitting over here. I'm not sure if these sand piles were here last time we were here, so they might be actually filling in a couple of these spots here that are seeing some erosion. Shed's still here, and the rest of the debris that looks like it was actually inside of that shed is still sitting here. Let's take a look and see what was actually in here. Looks like some old items. Look at this. Some kind of old Sony speaker. Looks like a radio. Post hole digger. 12-volt charger. Umbrellas. Seat cushions. All sorts of stuff that were inside that shed, it looks like. Now we can take a little bit closer look at this, what people are saying is the turbine housing. I'm not sure if this is the one that they actually spent $3.5 million on, I believe in 2014. They made a big investment into the Sanford Dam to upgrade some of the power production here. So that could have been what they actually replaced at that time. Here's a good top-down view of what people have told me is the housing that the turbine actually sits inside of. Over here, I actually noticed a lot of trees growing. You can see this entire bank here is covered in these trees that they're worried about. And they are calling these aspen trees. I, of course, think that they're cottonwood. So we can see there's a cottonwood tree right here as well. This one down here is a willow tree. Now let's head over to behind the dam here and take a look at how things look down here. Here we can see the portion just downstream of the dam. Falls are right over there in that area. Not too many people fishing today. Looks like there's just one person over there in the water, maybe on a tube. I'm just beneath the dam now. You can see it up there in that direction. The windows are open. Maybe I'll try to fly my drone a little bit closer there, see if we can see inside those windows. The barn swallows are usually pretty bad in this area though. Here we can see a close-up view through the windows of the actual Sanford Dam. And let me know if you guys see anything in particular through these windows that you can identify. Behind that window actually looks like maybe one of the power generators that is connected to the turbines. I know there's a lot more people that are more familiar with this terminology, so let me know what you think of these videos. And here is the dam. Someone did have a good question, so let me know if you know the answer to this. But why is there a hole beneath the spillway right here? What is the purpose of that hole? There's only one. So if you know the answer to that question, let me know in the comments down below. It's the earthen portion of the dam. Right here is what's left of the emergency spillway. So this is the concrete portion. And the water, once Edenville Dam failed, slowly started going over the top of this and then undercut it, so it slowly started dropping down further and further. And if this didn't perform like it did, we would have had a lot more flooding downstream. But that actually slowly let the lake level in Sanford Lake dissipate downstream. This sunflower was growing right in the middle of the emergency spillway. We can see the concrete structure surrounding it, and you can see Sanford Dam behind it to the left. I also tried to get some closer up shots underneath the emergency spillways, and we can see that dirt is just gone from underneath these. So that's what happened. These were undermined when the water started overflowing the tops of them, and then they slowly sunk into the earth. And over here we can see the falls, what we're calling Sanford Falls. This guy over here is having a good day. Just floating around, fishing on his tube. This shot coming up is just an aerial video of the Sanford Falls. I film these every 2 weeks, so every time I'm there, and we can take a look at how much more erosion has happened over these couple of weeks. Look at all these turtles sitting on this log beneath the dam. I have to look at it later, but it looks like we have a snapper turtle right there. Maybe some painted turtles. And over here I was just filming these falls. Apparently all these ducks just decided to join me. All mallards. Don't see any drakes in there. See a couple first years. Who knows what they're sitting on there? A big piece of metal. Thank you to everybody for supporting me, subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing these videos. It does help a lot. If you want to contribute to the efforts here, make sure you visit the Sanford Strong and Edenville Strong Facebook pages. I'll leave the links in the description down below. And if you want to help support my page, I'll also leave my Patreon and PayPal account down below. Thanks for watching, and make sure you catch my next video. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. As always, I just want to give a massive thanks to the people who support me on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of your contribution to keeping this channel going. Thank you.